All right, guys. So, I don't know how much you've seen or how much you've watched of the congressional hearing on FTX that took place with the new CEO of FTX and the Congress, right? But if you didn't watch it, I would probably recommend you to watch it if you had time. But if you didn't watch it, there's one particular person that asked critical questions and brought forth some pretty interesting concepts that I want you to watch. So in that case, I will play that one particular person out of this 3 hours and 45 minute clip. You're only gonna need to watch this one and these questions and these answers, and you let me know your thoughts. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Thank you.
Very much. The gentleman from New York, the gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming here to testify today, Mr. Ray. I have a lot to get through, so we're going to try to get these answers as quickly as possible. I want to put together a little bit of a timeline of this collapse between November 12th and yesterday. On November 2nd, we have CoinDesk leaking these balance sheets. On the 8th, Binance signs a non-binding letter to acquire FTX, and Bankman-Fried freezes or pauses withdrawals from FTX. I would like to submit to the record your declaration to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, or FTX's declaration to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court that was filed yesterday. Now, on November 9th, the day after those assets were frozen, Binance announced it would not go through with the purchase, and according to this filing, the same day, Bankman-Fried emailed the Bahamian Attorney General with an offer. That offer stated that he would offer to unfreeze withdrawals just for Bahamian customers on FTX, quote, so they can tomorrow fully withdraw all their assets. Correct. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, on November 10th, FTX DM, the next day, was placed into a foreign provisional liquidation in the Bahamas, correct?
Correct.
The next morning. Now, after that, Bankman-Fried then made good on his offer, on his previous day's offer, in that email to the Bahamian AG, opening withdrawals just in the Bahamas for a period of 25.5 hours. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, during that period, $100 million was withdrawn in the Bahamas from FTX by 1,500 individuals, correct?
Correct.
And this was the day before you were set to take over. So he was still in control. This was like right before he was supposed to hand this off. Now, I think what we have here is that, or rather afterwards, on November 12th, we have what Congresswoman Dean was just asking about with this additional minting, these questions around this additional minting. And then on November 16th, the Bahamian appointed joint provisional liquidators did something very interesting. They came here to the United States Bankruptcy Court and sought an entry to recognize the Bahamian liquidation as the main foreign proceeding. Would that additional control be of any potential value to Mr. Bankman-Fried for that Bahamian proceeding to be the main one?
Well, clearly, there seemed to be an effort by the Bahamian Commission to get control of the bankruptcy process, and I think that was evident by their filing, which, by the way, was made up in New York, not Delaware.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that correction. Now, did you uncover any evidence that demonstrates that this window, that 25.5-hour window, opened in exchange for any consideration offered to Mr. Bankman-Fried by the Bahamian Attorney General or any state official, including a promise to initiate liquidation proceedings which might offer a path towards Mr. Bankman-Fried retaining some control or influence over FTX.com?
We intend to investigate that very thing.
Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to dig into a little bit of the timeline of yesterday. Yesterday, you filed that same declaration that revealed some of this explosive information. What time did you file this?
That was late.
Around what time?
Yeah, 3 or 4 o'clock.
Around 3 or 4 o'clock. Now, when you file this information, that essentially discloses that you are sharing this information, and it discloses that to opposing counsel, correct?
Yes, we docket it, and the world knows about it.
Now, if opposing counsel essentially becomes notified of this, that would mean that Bankman-Fried and potentially Bahamian officials would have been potentially privy to that information starting around 3 or 4 p.m., correct?
Correct.
What time was Mr. Bankman-Fried arrested yesterday?
I believe it was in the early evening hours after 4 o'clock. So
I believe it was
7
around-
o'clock, perhaps.
It was in the evening after that filing.
6, 7 o'clock, yes.
I would like to submit to the record the statement from the Attorney General of the Bahamas issued yesterday on the arrest of Mr. Samuel Bankman-Fried. And after submitting that to the record, I would like to note that in this statement, they stated at such time as a formal request for extradition is made, presumably by the Southern District of New York, but they do not state when that request for extradition was made. Do you believe that information is important for us to understand in order to piece together a timeline, Mr. Ray?
Yes, sir. I certainly don't have that full timeline, and that's something that we look forward to learning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, mute. Do you guys understand what's going on here? What she's saying is that technically the Bahamians, as soon as they found out that the new CEO was filing documents in the United States, they immediately proceeded to basically arrest Mr. Bankman-Fried so that they could keep him there, and they're trying to avoid him from coming to the United States and speaking. And their extradition didn't really happen. That wasn't even filed at that time. So they were taking him away and they were keeping him there for a reason. I think, and I posted something yesterday, I think something's gonna happen to Sam. And I am sad. I mean, nobody deserves to get hurt and nobody deserves to die. I don't think of that. I don't think that way. I'm a very positive and loving guy. But I doubt that he's going to be safe. And I doubt very much that he will really be able to speak thoroughly and cohesively. And what I mean by that is with all his capacity, mental and emotional capacity. When he comes to the United States, I doubt that he's going to be able to speak. I doubt that he's going to be able to tell the world what was going on in the Bahamas. The Bahamas was doing some shady stuff, and that's my opinion. He looks like it because he was supposed to be here. He was supposed to be speaking at that particular hearing and the next day hearing. And this day before, he gets arrested right after the new CEO files all of this information. So this is huge. And we're going to unfold this, and we're going to understand this, and we're going to follow this. And there's a lot to be learned, but I wanted you to be aware of this. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel, and see you on the next one. Bye.